Anime Addicts, it's almost summer, and you know what that means. It's time for the Summer Waifu War to begin once again. The podcast will be hosting a cash prize March Madness style bracket challenge for your enjoyment, but first, we need a bracket. So go to www.waifuwar.life, because waifu are laifu, and nominate up to 10 of your favorite waifu. We know you love your waifus and you don't want them to be left out of the contest. So again, 10 nominations for your favorite waifu. Visit waifuwar.life to nominate. Again, that's waifuwar.life.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAApodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Welcome into the podcast episode 676 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. I am your host, Mitsugi, and my camera on Twitch is messed up, but I can't fix it while I'm talking, so you're just going to have to bear with me.
We'll do it live.
Deal with it. We'll do it live
People
in a minute.
Your sweet
I don't even know how the hell that happened, honestly. Welcome to the podcast, guys. I am back from Iowa. They tried to kill me. Caroline's trying to poison me. You know,
Yeah.
Mason's
Actually, no, I did not. I deny all responsibility for
Bullshit.
whatever harm may have been to you. In the last
Bullshit.
week.
She tries
I
and
did
tries
nothing wrong.
to kill Mitz, bury Mitz, put in...
Where is the proof?
There's no audio evidence of any of this.
Absolutely
I
none.
promise.
The only proof that you are bad at your job is that I'm still here, but I am glad to be here indeed. I am Mitsugi. I'm back. And I'm joined by my co-hosts. We have Caroline. I'll let her go first, even though she's a conniving plotter. How are you doing, Caroline?
Yeah, what can I say? I'm doing pretty good. Got some iced tea. Got water, so I'm still a hydro homie. And ready for a good show.
And we also have Mason. He's looking handsome. Mason,
Oh, my dude,
he never
you are the one
ages.
looking handsome.
Bullshit.
What's that shirt you're wearing? Where can I get me one of those?
Yeah, that's right. I got the
Wow,
Pope, the official
snazzy.
the Pope T-shirt from the AAA podcast store. If you want to get yourself a Church of Mitsugi shirt, you can go to aashop.info. Indeed, I'm wearing my Pope hat right now with the Pope hat shirt. So, and it says the Pope on it. There we go. You see that? Oh, you know you fucking love
All
it.
others say the acolyte, but you are the Pope, so you have the Pope version.
You know you fucking love the Pope. Guys, if you want to watch us, you can watch us live on twitch.tv/AAA podcast, Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern. Chitin's got us rolling on every social media. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. All those places are great. You can find us anywhere if you search for our name. We're on the Discord, AAAdiscord.com. You know you want to be on the Discord. We're almost at 2,600 people on the Discord, which is a great number. That makes it a pretty solidly sized Discord server, and there's a lot of shit going on there. And, of course, if you want to support the podcast, you can go to AAApodcast.com/join or Patreon. Throw some bones, because I have now given up 676 Sundays for you. That's a fuck ton of time, okay? And, you know, and it's, for the most part, been free, so... You know, Mitz wants to buy some more Roku gin, so we can have an extra fun drinking game when Pancake returns from Iowa. So, yeah, rolling right through waifuwar.life. We seriously, if we don't have a massive influx of nominations this week for the Waifu War, we are going to not do it. You have about
Okay, so I feel like the problem is we have not made a set due date, and people like to push off things that they know they can push off. Like, we have never said we need this many votes by this date, and after this date we are closing it down. If we don't have enough,
Yeah.
we're not doing. I mean, I still think we should be able to still do it if it's a little bit lower in numbers this year. I know that you have been really wanting to threaten shutting the entire thing down.
Oh, I'm going to. This is so I'll just say that the deadline is this time next week. How about that? I know that this episode
okay, so this would be May 14th.
That's right.
Yes, so May 14th, we need your submission for the waifu war. We need 10 of your waifus.
Yeah.
The more waifus you send in, the better. Tell all your friends.
Yeah, I mean,
if you don't have any friends, tell your enemies.
The reality of it is that, like, if we can't get enough people to show interest in the nominations, then we're not going to get enough people to make brackets, to have a contest. We're not going to have enough people voting for the waifus themselves, which is going to make it really lame.
I feel like even if we have less number of people doing that, the important thing is we have the amount of people for this part. Like the next part, we can still get through with a significantly less voter pool. But and it'll still be fun.
Waifuswar.life, get it done. What are we doing today? We got a packed episode, honestly. It's very packed. Anime Sabbatical, very fun topic where we talk about if we could take like a whole year off of doing anything in our lives, what anime would we watch that we're ashamed that we haven't seen. So we're mostly going to be shaming Caroline about all the anime that Mason's nodding. I agree.
Very fun episode.
I saw your list, guys, and there are a couple shows where I'm like, how have you not seen that? And I've seen it. Ooh. So it's going to go both ways.
She did say no holds barred.
Well, I mean, we roast each other anyway, so it's not like it's going to be any different. Then
we're going to have Day in AAA History, which is a very fun small segment that we're going to do after the news break. And oh my god, we have a lot of the spring impressions to get through, mostly mine. We have, this is just not all of them, but this is some of them. MASHLE, Oshi no Ko, Yamada-kun at level 999, Isekai, Cheat, whatever. Cheatsekai is what someone wrote. That sounds right. Magical Destroyers. There's Too Cute Crisis, a whole bunch of shit. Wow, tons of impressions. We're going to get to all that much later. Guys, are we ready for the big news?
Yep.
It's time for big news of the week.
All right, so it's pretty funny. I talk a lot of shit on this podcast, and here's Masao Maruyama basically saying the same thing. So people who don't know Masao Maruyama, you really should. Founded Madhouse in 1972, which we all know Madhouse. Madhouse is one of my favorite studios, for sure. I mean, their heyday was kind of the 80s and 90s, but they're still great. The Masao Maruyama also, and I didn't know this, founded MAPPA in 2011. So this guy's like a total boss. Nurtured talent such as Tetsudo Araki, Satoshi Kon, worked on anime, Unico, Cardcaptor Sakura, Monster, Death Note, Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Paprika, Redline, etc. Has been called like the anime equivalent of Osamu Tezuka because of his work ethic. This guy is like not to be fucked with. Masao Maruyama is probably one of the most prevalent and important people still living in anime today, and has some very bad comments for the anime industry. So I just threw this in here because I said the same thing and I feel like an asshole, but then he says it and I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'm like 5% less of an asshole. So he says that he's warning of anime's creative decline. I think we all see it. Like, how many times are we going to watch the same isekai show? How many times are we going to get the same, like, we can barely hold hands, like rom-com, high school anime? There's just a lot of the same shit happening every season without a whole lot of, like, out-of-the-boxism. So he says, Japan's animation will lose out to China if, because of commercialization stifling creativity. The people in Japan are no longer training in animation. The only reason China hasn't caught up to Japan yet is because of a bunch of restrictions imposed on free expression there. He also adds that if freedom of expression is unleashed in China, Japan will be overtaken in no time. He also warned that the industry is more concerned with churning out endless iterations of crowd-pleasing genres than training the next generation of animation talent, which is going to damage the industry in the long run. Thoughts?
Agree. I think the whole sentiment that anime was way better back in the day and everything that's produced now is crap is not what he's saying here. I think there's plenty of good stuff still coming out, but yeah, there is just the commercialization of anime has made it spread and explode, and there's so much stuff coming out, which is fantastic, but a lot of that is just very commercially driven and draining on the industry. And, you know, we kind of talked about in the Hobby Addicts with the Avengers movies, how they're just churning out, and that's energy of talent and resources and money that's not going into other more creative processes, and it's the exact same thing. So, you know, Maruyama's one of the GOATs. He's still putting out great stuff, and I agree with him. And China's stuff that they're producing is fantastic. There's tons of great dongos coming out that I'd highly recommend, and I think they're just only going to grow, and that definitely is a threat on some level to just the media exposure of animation. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I along the lines of what Mason said as well. I mean, back in the day, there wasn't as many anime coming out as there is now. But I suppose that's probably because a good portion of the anime coming out now are just so easy to produce in terms of writing, because there's so many tropes they lean on, and yeah, it doesn't really matter if it's good or not, because people have certain preferences that they like, even if it's objectively not all that original. So, yeah, I agree. So, shall we get to my news?
Yep, I don't have much more to say about that. I just wanted to say that some people are noticing, and it's concerning, because there are great anime that come out all the time, but it's becoming an increasingly small percentage of stuff that is like eye-opening and out of the box, and it's a very great and overwhelming percentage of anime that feel like something you just watched last year. So, Caroline, what do you got?
Well, something small, because I didn't really find anything else that interested me today. There will be a new Quintessential Quintuplets anime special. So it was announced on a very appropriate day, May 5th, 5/5, for the Quintessential Quintuplets.
Yeah.
Yeah, they announced on the official website that
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I give them props. A new anime special will air on television this summer and will screen in Japanese theaters for 3 weeks, starting on July 14th. The anime will adapt new stories that have not yet appeared in the previous anime projects. So I suppose there's going to be some side stories, filler that they skipped over. And yeah, should be pretty good if you are a fan of the Quintessential Quintuplets. But me personally, once you kind of know who he ends up with by the end, I really do not care what they did in between, what they did after they stopped studying one day, and yeah, things that I've already found out about. So yeah, just letting you know.
The Quintessential Quintuplets, also known as 10 boobs. There you go.
Yep, that's math, baby.
Who calls it that?
I did just now. And nobody else, I'm sure.
I love the whiplash between veteran producer of the anime industry says too much of the same show is being churned out. And in other news, a season 7,000 of the Quintessential Quintuplets.
Yeah,
is coming
exactly.
out.
There were only 2 seasons and 1 movie.
And how
Give them
many
credit.
OVAs and specials? And
I don't know. I did not
You know,
count them.
writing is
I don't
just
know if there are.
writing is just in peril everywhere. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's like a Titanic Hollywood writer strike happening right now. That is going to be a while before they unravel that sucker, because they're asking for like $500 million in additional salaries.
yeah, that's a rat's nest of stuff going on.
And like Disney, it used to be like Disney would never make a sequel, and now all they do is sequels and live action versions of the same stuff. So it's not just anime; it's just like, I don't know, widespread issue. And video games too. We're just going to remake everything, and video games are about as stale as anything. We're just going to remake everything, you know. Resident Evil 15, you know, Final Fantasy 16, all this. Yeah. Mason, what do you
The
got?
new Legend of Zelda's coming out.
And it'll be the same as the last one.
But the last one was so fun.
Lots of running around in the grass and whatever the fuck you do. Climbing to high places and using your glider. Not that
New
it's not
Zelda
great.
2, double the Korok seeds. Get ready, folks.
I'm sure it's great, but yeah. Mason, what do you got?
My news is that G-Kids announced distribution of the first Slam Dunk anime movie in North America, which is extremely exciting to me because after months of hearing about how good this movie was, we're finally going to get it in the summer, which is hooray, because I am excited for this because this film set many ticket records in Japan, South Korea, and China, becoming the 7th highest grossing animated film of all time, which is kind of a big deal for a sequel movie coming from a 1990s anime. Like, it's been a long time coming. I wasn't expecting it to do that well. And the film actually won Animation of the Year at the 46th Annual Japan Academy Film Prize. So that's some pretty high, accolades for it. So it's actually directed by the creator himself, Takehiko Inoue, who also did the mangas for Real and Vagabond. So a lot of credit and power to his name. And he also directed and, like I said, wrote the script. So I'm excited. I'm not the biggest Slam Dunk fan, that's for sure, but it's got a lot of charm. And while this film seems to be very CG heavy, I'll watch it. I'm down. I'll check it out. What do you think, Mitz?
I think Imasuke dato sakebitai ashita blah 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 blah. That's pretty great. Slam Dunk's awesome.
I want those really poorly dubbed eye catches. I want those back.
Oh my god!
When I say poorly dubbed, when the original audio in Japanese tries to do the English about how to play basketball, it never fails to make me laugh. There's probably a YouTube video somewhere.
It's really bad. Let's go play a basketball with friends. It is your fun time.
Shoot for the hoop. You'll never know. A good time.
It's so fucking hilarious. I just love in that anime how like it starts out as just like Yankee kids just like beating each other to death with like farming equipment like rakes and shovels, and they're just the most horrible humans ever. It just reminds me of like the 1980 like Detroit Pistons where they would just like be overly physical and just foul each other.
A lot of pompadours.
I love Slam Dunk. I don't care if there's episodes near the end where like they spend a whole episode on one foul shot. I still love it.
Well, I have never seen Slam Dunk, which is a great
You'd probably hate
segue into our topic for today. Anime Sabbatical.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, I believe it was during the Fuck, Marry, Truck episode, where there was a trio of characters from shows that I have never seen, and it was pretty egregious that I have not seen these shows, and people made sure to tell me that. Thanks. And I said, well, I'll get to them if I have an anime sabbatical. And that gave me the idea, what are the anime that we have never seen that is pretty sad that we've never seen? And if we had the time to, take off of all responsibilities and just focus on rounding ourselves with information from anime that we should have seen, what would that list be like? Mine is like a mile long, and Mason included links. Wow, look at you.
Yeah, I was occupied when you were talking about the Mario movie, so I was like, let me just, what else am I gonna do? Put in links to all my shows. If you think I should watch them, you can just click on our show notes, which you get if you are a paid subscriber to the podcast. You can see all the behind the scenes stuff.
Shill, baby.
Chill, baby.
Shill that shit.
All right.
Oh, and by the way, I just gotta say, we were told by Caroline that this is no holds barred. We're gonna be making fun of each other, talking some shit. Say, Caroline, you fucking suck. You haven't seen Slam Dunk. How about you go dunk your head into a piranha tank?
Honestly, I probably would not watch Slam Dunk on my sabbatical. There are too many other things I'm more interested in. And that will be a theme. Like, this is definitely not the list of anime that I've never seen that are ubiquitous to anime that, there are so many on that list, but I have to prioritize. Like, I'm only going to put the stuff on my list that I am somewhat interested in watching because there are just so many.
Or ashamed of for not watching.
Okay. That might be a little bit of a factor as well.
And with that,
this is the main event of the evening.
There you go. We now owe a royalty.
Nice. Do you want to go first, Mitsuki?
Sure. I And you should shame me too. You know, I love it. I'll be like Darkness from Konosuba. Hit me again. Oh yes, make it hurt. Sharpen the knives. Let's see here. So my first one is that I have never seen anything of Death Note past about episode 10.
Wow. Where was episode 10? Like, what happened in episode 10?
Well, Death Note just started to annoy me because it became apparent that the writer wasn't very smart, and I think he proved that with Platinum End. But that was like the point in the show where L basically takes like 2 worthless pieces of information and narrows down the suspect list from like 100 million people to about 6. It's like, oh, he's killing people between 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock, and so he must be a student. I'm like, what? Like, what? Or he must... He has knowledge of this or that, so he must be the son or daughter of a police officer. And I'm like, you're just pulling this shit out of nowhere. And I'm like, you know, I know you're supposed to be a great detective, L, but your detective work almost looks like, you know, Miss Cleo, like Swami crystal ball bullshit, and a little bit less of like putting the pieces together.
A number of educated guesses and just wings it. But that aside,
with
I
insane
love
accuracy.
It's so entertaining. What?
Well, I don't know. That's why I stopped watching it. It sounds like that was probably not a bad decision because, you know, people start to hate Death Note about halfway through.
Yeah,
or so I'm told.
I will not spoil what
Not
happens.
halfway,
but there is a significant point that you feel like, okay, that could have ended there, and I would have been happy with it. But then they bring in some new characters, and it gets... If that's what you disliked about the show up until episode 10, you would have dropped it by a different point.
I mean, the other thing about Death Note, and I haven't seen it all, so, you know, I don't know a lot, but it seemed to me it was a cat and mouse fugitive detective story at the onset. You got a detective trying to find the killer, and you got a killer with a book killing people, using his own sense of, like, you know, gray morals or whatever. But if the point of the show in the first 10 episodes is the detective work and the cat and mouse, then you need to have some convincing detective work so you can have good content and a good cat and mouse to work with. Determining that he's a high school student in Tokyo just because he kills people between 3 and 8 o'clock is not really a valid piece of evidence for much of anything. So it's just like, it just undermines to me the richness of what's happening. So, you know, if he can do that, then I don't know. Where's the cat and mouse? He's so accurate that, like, he's going to find him no matter what. Anyway, we can move on. But yeah, I haven't seen Death Note, and I probably won't watch it. Especially not after Platinum End. I just don't care. All right.
I'll take the obvious one out immediately. Cowboy Bebop. I've never seen Cowboy Bebop. Yes, I know.
Shame.
I should have seen Cowboy Bebop, but
Shame.
yeah.
How has this happened?
I've only seen the live action.
Oh God, oh my God. No.
Yeah, I know.
But you should at least go. The live action Cowboy Bebop was so bad that you definitely should at least go watch, we'll say, like, the first 5 episodes of Bebop, just so you can fix all that.
Cleanse your palate.
Yeah, cleanse your palate.
What makes it even sadder, my little sister has no interest in anime whatsoever. In fact, every single time I try to bring it up, she'd be like, I don't care.
And?
Caroline, could you
several years ago in high school, she had a boyfriend, and they did it for a long time.
Ooh la la.
And he got into anime, and he showed her Cowboy Bebop because she likes dogs, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love Ayn. She has seen Cowboy Bebop. The girl that has absolutely no interest in anime whatsoever. So she has that over me.
I bet they did watch Cowboy Bebop. That's what they're calling it these days.
Funny.
With Ein, which means
that was
one.
Weird.
I don't know. Hey, I'm just gonna come. I'm coming with the haymakers, girl, and they're not all gonna land. You know, you're bobbing, you're weaving. You know, it's hard to hit you, but
I wasn't. I like that was kind of a joke. The whole holds barred thing. Like I didn't think that we. You're just gonna be manic the entire episode.
Manic.
Literally insane. Yeah, but you should watch Bebop, and it's easily available, and it's right there. It takes time. Bebop is like, just watch one episode a day. That's the perfect way to take it in.
The reality with Cowboy Bebop is that it's so good, you'll probably watch an episode and end up watching like 8 more the same night.
But I'm trying to catch up on My Hero Academia.
Well, you're going to find that Cowboy Bebop is so much more interesting.
You're going to break Mitsuki's heart. I don't have time for a classic that's very, like, prominent in the industry and just, like, very setting of just all Western involvement in anime. I'm just going to watch season 5.
Season 900 of Frog Girl and Fireboy.
I mean, to be fair, I have heard MHA is on the up and up recently, but man, oh man, I do not care.
Yeah, I'm so far behind.
At least one person on this podcast will.
Exactly. You're doing it for us, so thank you.
All right, let's make fun of Mason
there
now.
You have it. Cowboy Bebop. Mason, what do you have?
I mean, should I start off with the hot stuff that I'm like,
yeah.
I definitely should watch it? Okay, I really think I should watch Full Metal Alchemist. The original. I've seen Brotherhood. I've seen all of Brotherhood. Love it. Enjoy it. And it's been long enough where wouldn't be like a one-to-one comparison, but it's been long enough where I kind of forgot some of the intricate details of Brotherhood, so it would be kind of fresh and invigorating, and I've just never seen the original 2003 to 2004 run. And I think it's worth checking out, I think there's some value. I think there's enough people that say, Brotherhood's better and the original's better, that it's worth giving a shot. It's not like Hunter x Hunter where, the 2011 version is so more universally beloved, where it's like, okay, that's clearly the superior version. And I think it's worth checking out.
Well, I have two things.
I was thinking about putting this on my list as well. I have seen Brotherhood, but with Full Metal Alchemist, I had a hard time getting through Brotherhood. There was so many episodes. I wasn't exactly intrigued by it by some reason, or like it didn't make me want to binge all of it, so it took me a long time. The only thing I've heard is that, the first part of the original Full Metal Alchemist is a little bit more in-depth rather than the one in Brotherhood, because they kind of just skipped ahead.
It doesn't throw you into it like Brotherhood does.
Yeah. So I have considered just watching those, but at this point I'm like, I liked Full Metal Alchemist, but it's not, I don't think I really want to invest more time into it. I kind of got the gist already, so.
Two things. One, people on Twitch should rate how embarrassing we are out of 5 for every anime we name.
Yeah.
And 2,
5 out of 5. This is the most embarrassing piece of knowledge that you have not seen this show.
And 2, I haven't seen Full Metal Alchemist either. Although I did see the Star of Milos or whatever, the movie, and it was not that good, but to my memory. But that's on my list as well. And I don't think we're gonna get to all these, so I just throw that one in there right now.
Oh yeah, I have like 15. So.
Yeah, at the end of this, we're just gonna be picking on Caroline.
Heck yeah.
All right. Next up for me, I have not seen more than a few episodes of Samurai Champloo. It was on TV, and I wasn't really into all the hip-hop rap stuff that was in it. It seemed kind of dumb to have, like, the hip-hop rap in, like, feudal Japan, because it doesn't fit at all.
That's exactly why it's so great.
Well, and nowadays, I just think Watanabe's up his own ass. I think he loves himself. More than anybody should. But yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't really give a fuck. Come at me.
Well,
okay.
You would watch it though. You're
Come
saying
on.
though, you
No,
would watch it.
No, I don't give a fuck.
The whole point of this is things that you feel like you should watch.
Yeah, I should watch it, but I should watch it.
But would you if you had months off?
If I was
I'm not saying you'll like it. I'm just saying
if I'm taking
feel guilty in your core that you have not seen Samurai Champloo.
I think I think that if I'm taking time off solely for the purpose of watching anime that I missed out on, then this one would be on the list. If I'm taking time off just because work sucks, then I'm not going to spend it watching anime.
No,
yeah,
this is
the way I kind of made my list was more about what is what are the critical pieces of anime knowledge that I'm missing that I need to have in order to be an even better reviewer of anime?
Jeez, the Twitch, apparently, like, not seeing Samurai Champloo is just the end of the world.
Yeah,
I mean,
how have you, the drug man, which I'm
Drug?
calling you now, how have you not taken shrooms while watching the Champloo
Did you just call me the
episodes
drug man?
Where they go on shrooms?
You do take
How
more
is
drugs
that not perfect?
than neither of us.
All I do is smoke marijuana.
Yeah, and why have you not
That's
done
what
that
we
while
mean.
watching the drug episode?
Well, okay, wait a second. I just want to pause on this for a second because, more people now smoke marijuana than smoke cigarettes.
Yay!
By a healthy margin. So, I don't know. I don't even really think of marijuana as drugs anymore. It's so commonplace.
Okay, well, we have a lot to talk about here. So
I see.
move on?
Oh, I see.
Well, let's not get too off topic.
Yeah,
You
fuck
don't want me to
Samurai
ring the bell
Champloo.
again, do
Fuck
you?
it. Fuck it. Fuck your
Champloo's
sunflowers.
great.
Fuck
Champloo's
all
great.
that.
Both you guys are letting Watanabe down, and it's making me sad.
Yeah,
Sorry,
well.
Watanabe. So next on my list, Bleach. I have seen Naruto. I've not seen Bleach.
I haven't
working
seen it
on
either.
Gintama. I had a bit. There was a time I was considering starting Bleach with the prior knowledge that it does kind of fall off the wagon a little bit towards the end. But I was thinking maybe I should just watch up until the arc where it doesn't suck. But yeah, I just never got to it. So if given the chance, I might watch a few arcs of Bleach. Mason?
I've seen a couple episodes of Bleach, and I dropped it, so I can't confirm or
Whether
deny
or not
how
I
much
will
pain
enjoy
you should
Bleach,
feel.
I don't think. Yeah,
I feel
it's
like
nothing that I
you
feel
being
super compelled to watch.
most in the weeds with like Naruto and other shonen shows, it's best for you just to get that full scope of that genre.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm
will
not
not
gonna
watch
blame you.
Dragon Ball though. Like that is not on my
You
sabbatical
shouldn't.
list.
You shouldn't.
What?
I don't. Is there a driving story in Dragon Ball that doesn't revolve just Goku beating up somebody because he wants to fight someone strong?
It depends on what part of Dragon Ball you're referring to.
Is that a good portion of Dragon Ball? Like, is there
That's
any
hundreds
other
and hundreds of
interesting
episodes of it.
stories
Dragon Ball
happening
Z,
in Dragon
yes.
Ball?
Dragon Ball Z, that's...
I don't even know the difference between the two. They kind of just
Oh.
combine.
Dragon Ball is more about finding the Dragon Balls to make your wish come true. Dragon Ball Z is mostly about finding the Dragon Balls to wish people back to life that were killed off by villains.
The last time you were searching for the Dragon Balls to
Yeah.
switch back to people, that it's just an endless cycle.
Yeah, no, it
here's
doesn't seem worth it.
That one hurts me though, I gotta say.
Because
when you-
I don't nothing that you said seems relatively interesting.
When you go to the gym, Caroline, you only see really a couple anime shirts, and most of them are Dragon Ball.
Because it's basic.
Because it's the most,
Very
because it's the biggest anime that has ever been made.
Because it's basic.
It has like 80 video games.
Because it's basic.
it's basic.
All right.
Sorry,
Here
man.
is a show I do not think I would
That
like,
one hurt.
but I think I should watch at least a couple episodes just to know what it's really about. And that is High School DxD.
Just 'cause she has been titties.
This is a show I've seen in AMVs and memes and GIFs and just people talking
The
about it
boob
as they
thing?
joke. Yeah, the boob physics as it dodges the bullet.
riddle?
This one's not
And-
even on your list. You didn't even write this.
This is definitely on my list.
High School
it's on your
DxD?
list.
Oh, High School of the Dead. It's High School DxD.
They kind of combined. What's the difference between them? I don't know.
It's High School DxD is what I meant. Sorry.
High School of the Dead, we need more of, by the way. I mean, there's no, like, I know the writer died, I think, but like,
I know the writer died, but
It's
he
not
could,
rocket
come back
science.
To life and just finish the story.
it's literally the only anime I've ever seen where a real zombie apocalypse occurs.
They're the same thing. It's the same show.
School live.
School Live, where they're like, that doesn't count. Like, they don't even leave the school building.
They do at the end.
At
Spoiler.
the school, it's not the same. Like, High School DxD is like, now I'm doing
No.
it. High School of the Dead
High
is...
School of the Dead is,
Actually, no,
is
they
what
do
we
leave
want.
the school.
High
They're
School-
updating
At
that
least there
link.
are scenes outside the
Caroline, have you seen High School of the Dead?
school. No.
High School of the Dead is like running and gunning the streets, shooting zombies, getting bitten and having your throat ripped out. It's like what you expect from like a Korean.
Well, I have seen The Walking Dead, so.
It's more like that, whereas High School Live is
boobs.
more like unraveling the mystery of what happened to the Moe girls in the school, right?
Well, it's more like psychological
I understand.
shit happens. And
But-
School of the Dead looks so cool.
It doesn't
And it
have
has some really slick animation and
boob
edginess and
physics.
brutality. Yeah, it knows what it is and is off the wall, which is inherently what I know just from a couple clips, and I feel like I should know what it is. I'm sure I won't like it.
You might.
High School of the Dead is definitely something that's worth checking out, I think.
School
I don't know.
Live doesn't have big titties in it, and that's a problem.
no, they have cute girls. And I love it.
Well, there are cute
Your turn.
girls in High School of the Dead too. They're just very well endowed.
Okay, you don't need to be well endowed to be cute.
No, but you need to be well endowed to be in High School of the Dead. Because they're all.
That I won't argue with.
They
but
are.
Go on. What's your next one?
No,
Caroline,
sorry. So yeah, High School
Caroline,
of the
there's
Dead.
I'm sorry, but I have to mention this. There's a scene in High School of the Dead where a guy is shooting a zombie with a sniper rifle from like 50 yards or whatever, and a girl does like a backflip and twists sideways so that her boobs like
I've seen the
move
clip.
in
You don't
different
need to tell me
directions so
about
that the
it.
bullet can flow perfectly between her cleavage.
That part is amazing.
Anyway,
I hate ecchi, but I will commend that scene.
I
I want
have
to check it out. I need that context. High School of the Dead. Okay, moving on.
The context.
I have not seen Haikyuu past season 1, and I don't care.
But why is it on your list?
Well, because I haven't seen it.
But do you feel guilty about not seeing it?
A little
Do you
bit.
feel like you
Do you
have
think
all
that
the
if you watched
information that
more
you
of it-
need? Everything that you can hold any sort of anime conversation with, do you feel like you have enough information based on watching season 1 to get through that conversation?
I don't think there's a whole lot happening in Haikyuu.
Exactly.
Why? So
So,
why'd you put it on the
You
list?
shouldn't. Doesn't need to be on your list. You already know general information about this really popular show.
I'm not really sure about that because for all the fellatio that's happened for Haikyuu over the last like 5 or 6 years of like, oh my god, the black, the kudo and whatever fucking school versus this blah 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 for a whole season. It's so I came 93 times during this season because it's I'm coming again right now just thinking about it because it's so good that I orgasm every.
Area on Ice.
Well, that's literally how people behave around Haikyuu, and I'm like, if you go on
I thought you
Mao.
were talking about the characters within Haikyuu.
So I know I'm missing out on something. I mean, I'm sure the season 3 of Haikyuu probably has like a 9
It's
on Mao.
all the same. It's all the same.
Well, why do people
If you've
suck
seen
Haikyuu's
season one-
balls so much?
Because it's still
Just
really
to
good.
carry-
Because people
just to
still
carry
really
off of
like
this
it.
one, just to carry off of this one, I also put Haikyuu on my list. Have never seen Haikyuu. Feel like I should watch it. I think I'd
Yes.
like Haikyuu.
I definitely think you should. It's a fantastic show.
I like Haikyuu, but it's also like it's not grungy enough of a sports anime for me. Haikyuu is
There isn't enough dirt.
well, Haikyuu
Grind.
Haikyuu is a show where they remove the net in front of the characters' faces so you can look at how pretty they are.
Well, also I feel like it's easier to animate.
I mean, I'm not really
Just
sure
the
about it.
style.
I just think that like people want all the ladies to see how pretty Kageyama is
You
most
can't
likely.
Complain. You love well-endowed elves. So you cannot complain about, well, they removed the
Elves?
netting around their eyes to make them look pretty.
But-
I'm just saying that you love your good-looking characters.
Look, I
So-
appreciate that you're coming at me with the no holds barred, but usually, like in High School of the Dead, the anime is about 50% about tits.
Yeah.
Haikyuu is
complain about that.
Haikyuu is about volleyball. It's not about how pretty so and so's face is. I'm here
I
to
don't
wa-
understand your reasoning, but because
It's just
I mean,
like how
if
free
you're
isn't-
gonna complain. If you're gonna complain about there being handsome guys in an anime, you shouldn't have to like. You can't complain, or you should be complaining about the number of big-breasted, pretty ladies in any other anime because it's all the same. I
Wow.
just don't get your reasoning.
Haikyuu
I wouldn't
is good.
complain about that because
I don't
I'm
think it's ever as good as season 1. So Mitz, you don't need to watch anything more. Caroline,
Yeah.
you should watch Haikyuu though.
That's
It is
disappointing.
good.
Yeah.
Having a net out of their way or in their way doesn't change
I
the
don't care.
mechanics, and it just helps you better see their expressions. And that doesn't bother me, but it is something that happens. So please watch at least season 1 of Haikyuu. After that, you're on your
Yeah.
own.
It doesn't, but in the same vein that like Free is really about men's abs.
I can definitely see a
This
lot
is,
more
know.
fan service with that.
Oh, Free is
Because
like
there's
30%
no way
of
that
sports
high school
anime.
Boys, There's no way that high school boys, so many high school boys, look like they do in Free.
Yeah, well, they do when they weigh like 105 pounds because they
Like
that-
all
Yeah.
the abs and the pecs, and like
Yeah.
sure, you might get a few people in high school that
Yeah.
look like that, but this random swim team, no.
You know what Pancake would say about the guys at From Free? First, she'd tell you that she likes the shark tooth guy best, probably. Then,
Yeah,
as
he's
I've heard,
pretty good.
as I've heard her say to people about the same build and age of the Free characters at the Denver water park that I'll be going to in a couple months, she would say, "Where do they keep their organs?" Because these kids are so fucking scrawny and thin that it's like they might have abs, but it's like, yeah, because you weigh like 93 pounds. Like, where you put your fucking organs?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Mystery.
People do
Okay.
look like that. I don't know what the
Most-
complaint is.
Most people with abs are just skinny. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, of course.
Next,
I have so many on my list. I really
That's
need to
how
get through them.
swimmers are. Swimmers are lean. Go ahead, Caroline.
Okay,
They
Hunter
are.
x Hunter. I assume like the
Ugh.
recent one because that's what Mason said.
That's
I've
bad.
never seen Hunter x Hunter in any incarnation, and I know there is no
Shame.
ending. So but I definitely should have seen this. And can I mention a couple?
Yeah, go for it.
yeah,
Code Geass. Never seen Code Geass whatsoever. I've always
It's
heard
pretty
about
fun.
Code Geass from
It's
the
good.
very beginning because it's one of those shows that like the first anime fans, they like, or the new anime fans, they come into this whole
jeez, you have
thing,
a lot here.
and you'll hear about Code Geass, and I have no idea what Code Geass is about except for one guy. He has like the ability to control people.
Yeah, I
Is there mechs
Jibu
in
wonder
Code
how you
Geass?
haven't seen this yet.
There are mechs in Code Geass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mech
Okay.
anime.
I couldn't remember if it was a mech anime or
There's
not.
a
But yeah.
there's a Code Geass is the least of your worries. There's more anime on your list here that I'm just like,
I know.
can't
I just
even
haven't
believe
gotten
it.
to them yet. At the very end, like if we run out of time, I'll just quickly shout out all the anime that I have on my list here. But Mason, go ahead.
Let's see. One that I've heard a lot about, and I just haven't checked it out. Not sure if I'll like it or not. Is Tenchi Muyo. It just seems like one of those, mid '90s classics. Comedy, romance, sci-fi. Those are all genres that normally don't check my boxes, but
You can skip
people
it.
just really. I see it mentioned
It's a
quite a
harem
bit,
anime for the most part.
but it's one of those like building block harems of the genre. So maybe I'll try it. Who knows?
I mean, Tenchi Muyo doesn't suck, but it's mostly about like these girls fighting over Tenchi.
Yeah, I'm sure I won't like it, but it's just one of those things where I haven't seen it, and it guilts me that when someone brings it up, which is more common than you would think for a show that's over 20 years old, I'm just like, I don't have anything to add. I have no opinion on it, and I feel like I should.
Now, Zero Ryoko says in the chat, this is a 5 out of 5. You're apparently a very big failure, Mason, because
Exactly.
because Ryoko is bae, and it's misspelled on Twitch, and must be worshipped by all. I think I can
There you
agree.
go.
Prove it in the waifu war. Dun, 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 dun,
This
dun, dun,
is
dun.
the man.
Yeah, Ryoko is probably the best of the girls, but there's not much competition. I mean, you have like this weird, like chibi-ish, like genius lady with red hair. Then you have the straight up moe girl. Then you have the purple-haired girl who I can't even remember her name, and as I recall, she's just a bitch to Tenchi. Ayeka, and then you're left with Ryoko, who's probably insane, but Tenchi, he has no chance in this group. He's going to end up without his penis no matter who he ends up with because they're just going to chop it off.
Nice.
So,
What do you got, Mitz?
I have never seen anything of any of the Monogatari animes except
Good. Stay away. It's
What,
awesome.
really?
I love it, but you shouldn't watch it, Mitz.
except
Is it a
half
rabbit
of
hole? Is it like just a never-ending abyss?
Yeah.
except half of Katana Gatari, which I've seen about half of, like I said, and
Wait, is Katana Gatari part of Monogatari?
Nope, not even close.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's just another Gatari.
well,
I have seen Katana Gatari a little bit. I have not
Katanagatari is
finished it.
amazing, and Monogatari is pretty solid too. But definitely not a Mitz show, and I don't want to. I don't need to have Mitz know what that show is.
man, you guys you have no gasoline to throw on me. All right, well, Caroline,
Thanks.
you're up. I got plenty of gasoline left.
Okay. Never seen anything from the Fate series, so
Oh.
I guess I should watch something from that. Not promising.
That was a mistake. You're never going to hear the end of that. The Fate Army will devour your soul.
Well,
Devour your
sorry
soul.
guys. The Melancholy of Haruhi season. I can't say it. The Melancholy of Haruhi
Oh,
season.
man.
I've never seen anything.
Yeah,
anything.
That's pretty iconic.
Yeah, I know.
This is the second biggest one on your list.
Have I already said the first one?
The first biggest is Cowboy Bebop, for sure.
Okay.
Haruhi Suzumiya is, it's short.
Yeah.
I think it's short.
Really? I
think so.
I thought it was long.
It's like 30-something episodes.
Okay, because I thought there were like just
Across
local spin-offs.
2 seasons. There's like some like Yuki-chan spin-offs, completely skippable.
Movie?
The movie is a work of art, and really, if anyone ever gets into watching Haruhi, you do it so that you can understand and appreciate the 3-hour movie that is Disappearance, which is a juggernaut and fantastic and worth watching 30-something episodes to get there. I'm just saying those 30-something episodes are kind of a pain in the butt.
Are you talking about the movie?
Yeah.
The movie that's like 9 hours long?
Yes.
You
It's
like
really
that?
good.
Oh, come on, bro.
It's fantastic.
Hey, it's 2 hours. It's like, oh, wow. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
It says the dude who watches Dragon Ball. I
Dragon
don't care
Ball-
how long a movie is. If it's
Dragon
good-
Ball is, I can watch one episode of Dragon Ball and walk away. You're trapped in a movie theater for like what seems like half your life watching the fucking Haruhi Suzumiya movie.
I don't know what to tell you. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie.
Well,
it
we're
earns that,
we're
like-
not necessarily agreeing that it's a good movie.
Okay, I just want to throw
Have you
another one
seen
out
the
there.
movie?
I did. I saw it at Otakon.
And you saw the show that led up to it.
Wow, I'm really good. It's 2 hours and 41 minutes. I was off by
I
1
told you it
minute.
was 3 hours.
But that's like the longest anime movie that has ever been made, potentially.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think.
Also, I've never seen any of JoJo's.
Yeah,
Well.
fair.
And there are so many people like the JoJo references.
I would
I'm
put-
like, I don't understand any
Is a
references.
travesty.
I would
There is
put
no references I
JoJo
understand.
in the same tier as Fate, where it's not a must-watch because of its quality, but so many people know it and love it
Yeah.
and bring it up that it's worth having that in your back pocket so you're not completely out of the loop.
Right. Yeah.
JoJo, yeah, JoJo's pretty good. It gets a little weird for my taste.
I would watch like one of the better seasons that requires no prior knowledge.
Yeah, maybe I'd probably start you off with part 4 if I had to give a recommendation, just because that's it's established in what it is, but it's a pretty low-key jumping in point.
JoJo started to lose me when like people started wearing like bright green lipstick and shit. I'm like, this is a little weird. Like the characters are starting to look like, people dressing up to go to like a rave or something. Just like,
It's fashion, baby. It's awesome.
if you say so.
It's when the crazier the outfits get, is the better JoJo gets.
I almost bought tickets to the gathering of the Juggalos.
You got your Fago?
What is that? Oh, yeah, I would. I'd bring some with me. Yeah. Caroline's like, what is that?
I don't know. I'm so confused.
Caroline would
keep on going. Just keep on going.
I would have gone, by the way, if the tickets weren't like $400 a pop. They're like ridiculously expensive.
Dance with Gigolos?
The gathering of. What did you say?
Is this just Dancing with Gigolos?
Got him.
Wait,
It's the sequel to Water for Elephants.
It's the gathering of the Juggalos.
Oh.
What is a
What's the-
Juggalo?
I miss. I don't know what Juggalos are, but
He's a graduate.
Do you know what magnets are?
He graduated from, well, at least he's got a job. He's not a dumb putz. He worked for himself scratching his nuts.
That's gross.
Well,
And
That's
jelly
exactly-
bean is needed for that. Several jelly beans because gross, and also I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
well,
Okay, Mason, do you want to go?
It's really more interesting hearing yours, so I'm just going
Okay,
to
so
say
should I
really
just keep
quickly, Astro Boy. I want to see the 1980 version. I think that's just important to anime lore and just seeing where it came from. So yeah, Astro Boy, I want to watch it.
I have nothing funny to say about that one. Except he's a little boy with underpants on.
Aren't we all?
Ideally. If I could, I would just wear underpants all day and nothing else.
I know you
So
would.
so Astro Boy.
Yeah,
You just want to be Astro Boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Perfect.
My next one is the original Legend of the Gladiator Heroes. I haven't seen
Yeah.
really any of it. I know
you
it's
should watch
it's great. I have seen the newer ones, but I haven't seen the original, and I need to. But I probably won't because it's long, and I'm never gonna
At
have
least
time.
I saw
The
the
whole
movie.
point of this.
I saw the movie,
That's
so
true.
I can say at least I've watched some of the Legend of the Galactic Heroes, but I have heard it's pretty great.
It is good, and that's one you shouldn't watch necessarily because it's well-renowned and popular. You should watch it because it's amazing, and it's way better than you will expect, and you'll be like, dang, this is really good. That's why you should watch it.
Caroline, what else do you have that we
All
can
right.
make fun of you for?
Okay, Natsume no Eugene show.
Eh.
Feel like I can watch a couple episodes at least.
Watch a few episodes, and they'll be like,
Yeah.
yep, got it. Good.
Is that
Space Brothers.
is that a very episodic show? Not too many.
Yeah, extremely. There is
Yeah.
some carryover plot, but within a couple episodes, you'll know exactly what it's like, how it hits you, the mood, everything.
That's amazing. Isn't that show like fucking long? Doesn't it,
It
have
has like
5
six
seasons?
6 seasons, a couple movies,
Jesus,
and
fuck.
it gets better as it goes on, but it is very consistent.
How can people watch 100 episodes of episodic crap?
Dragon
Says
Ball
the
Z.
dude who
Dragon Ball
watches
Z is
Dragon
not
Ball.
episodic.
It's episodic when nothing happens in an episode but screaming.
Well, there's a lot of fighting, but anyway. You said
Okay,
Space Brothers. That's Space Brothers
Yeah,
is really
Space
good.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I've heard it's so good, but 99 episodes, right?
Yep.
And it doesn't end,
It doesn't have an ending.
That's
the
correct.
manga keeps
Yeah.
on going, and it's pretty good.
which yeah. So that is one thing that kind of draws it back, but I have heard great things about Space
God,
Brothers.
there's so many more in here.
Nichijou. I've seen one episode of Nichijou. I generally enjoyed it, but I never got back to it.
Keep going. We're
and-
done, so keep going.
Okay. Bakano. I have heard good things about Bakano. Never
pretty
watched
good.
it.
Pretty fun.
Spice and Wolf. I don't know if I'll like Spice and Wolf, but because Mitsuki talks about it quite a bit, and it's kind of like Code Geass in that when I first started watching anime, I heard about Spice and Wolf a lot, but not recently. But I also feel like it's just one of those older animes that was really, really, really big, and I know nothing about it.
And
Yeah,
if they make
Hana.
is more fun.
and if
but
they make
Spice-
another one, the world will remember that Horo is the true ultimate waifu.
Anohana. Have never seen it. Not prepared for the feels, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Honey and Clover, just because I love March Comes In Like a Lion, and I know they're kind of like spiritual, like siblings, if that's even a term. But
You know
they're
what's-
also by the same creator.
You know what's funny
Yep.
is that go ahead, Mason.
No, you got it.
I used to think Honey and Clover was like the best fucking thing ever. I watched it like when I was in college. I'm pretty sure if I watch that show right now, it will be unbelievably boring. Because as I recall, every scene of that show is just people sitting around at Kotatsu talking about nothing. And like crying about relationships. That's pretty much
I
what
mean,
that-
it's a very melodramatic show, but
and bicycle wheels turning because it's supposed to be symbolic of like your life moving
and
on.
some
or some
art
shit.
exhibits and stuff. But it's a solid show.
All right, now go ahead and get to the most painful one here, so we can all make fun of you.
Berserk.
Shame.
Clang,
Shame.
clang,
Shame.
clang.
Caroline, I only have one question.
Yes,
What the fuck have you been doing with your life?
I've been watching the 10,000th Reincarnated as a something show.
Man, Berserk is fucking good. The
And My
original.
Hero Academia.
And My Hero. But like that's a recent thing. Like I've only just started getting back into it, so
Okay, Mason, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What are the 3 shows on Caroline's list she absolutely has to watch, regardless of Sabbatical?
Has to watch for she would like, or has to watch for like this kind of must watch list.
It's just a travesty that I have
Yeah,
not.
Cowboy
it's a
Bebop
travesty.
easily is at the top. I can't think of any anime in the Western world that has as much sway as that for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm trying to think of the shows that get brought up a lot. Like Space Brothers is a good show, and we talk about it. You and I, Mitz, both like it, but the general anime populace isn't bringing up Space Brothers in every conversation in the same way like Fate or JoJo is brought up. Spice and Wolf is pretty good. Haruhi, but that's if we were a decade and a half ago, definitely Haruhi.
Boku no Pico on my list.
Who put Boku no Pico on Caroline's list?
Boku no Pico. I mean, it's kind of a classic.
People are editing my list.
You know, there's a character in Boku no Pico named Monkle. It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Okay, the 3 you must watch is
Bebop, of course.
Bebop, Berserk, and
Hunter x Hunter.
Trying to think of our Discord, like what gets brought up a lot.
Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, probably Hunter x Hunter.
And
the 3 I think you should watch for like personal enjoyment is definitely Haikyuu, definitely Anohana, and I could see you liking Natsume Jinsho, but let's go Honey and Clover. I think those 3. They're a little more risky picks, but I think there's good value in those shows.
There you have it. And there are several more I could have put on here, but... Anybody else want to run through a few that they...
I need to watch Dear Brother, because a ton of people tell me how wild and crazy and fun it is. I need to watch
it's
that.
Kind of slow. I'm still working on that. There's a lot of slow moments, but I'm just like... it's punctuated with what the fucks?
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. I've seen one episode and I liked it. So anyway, what's the trivia?
All right. So in Kawaii Sugi Crisis, how many cats are credited with living in Japan? Think about it. Give us your answer. You'll win nothing, but you'll feel good about yourself. And let's head into the news break.
Hey, anime addicts, back from Iowa. It's Mitsugi, bringing you your anime news. Getting us started off, a man was arrested in Japan for moonlighting as a host bar host and was arrested in Nagoya. Out on the street, a lot of hosts will ask, want to go to a host bar? To girls on the street, try to get them to come inside. However, this man asked the wrong person because the woman he asked was actually a plainclothes police officer out on patrol. He was arrested, I assume, for the event, as his identity as a host bar host was revealed to all, alongside his role of about a 20 hours per week math teacher at a junior high school in the area. So there are specific rules in Japan about whether or not you can do a secondary job when you're a full-time teacher at a public school. This man was only part-time, so he kind of got out of that requirement, but it looks like the reputation and event of being arrested on the street for working for a host club will indeed cost the man's job as a math teacher. Next up, NFL star Jamal Williams, who loves Naruto, is hosting a charity auction with the voice actor of Naruto, Miley Flanagan. So this auction is going to happen on May 9th. And the items that are going to be up for auction are going to be signed Funko Pop action figures, box sets, headbands, shoes, a bunch of other stuff as well. And this is all going to be going towards the Jamal Williams Foundation, which is a new nonprofit founded by Williams to provide financial and community support to assist youth development. Pretty cool to see, one, such famous athletes being so engrossed in anime, and also just a person trying to do a nice thing for the community. Next up, a manga is getting a new anime adaptation, but it won't be until 2024. The 44th volume of Ken Kawasaki's Oi Tonbo, or Hey Tonbo manga is going to be getting an anime adaptation, but it's going to be, like I said, out in 2024. This is a golf manga. Tonbo Oi, the protagonist, lost both her parents in a car accident when she was young and raised by her grandfather, a fisherman on the island of Kagoshima. She learns to play golf while using her father's inherited number 3 iron on the island's 3 golf courses, which were built by the islanders themselves. Sounds like a cool story. We'll have to see if they can have a reasonably good golf anime this time around. Next up, Otakon is still rolling along, and this year it's going to host a lot of guests, including Junko Iwai and director Shinji Aramaki. So Iwai has portrayed a lot of characters, including Cardcaptor Sakura, Perfect Blue, Madoka Magica, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Chibi Madoka-chan, and so much more. And Araki made his directorial debut with Metal Skin Panic Maddox 01, the OVA, and has also worked on the Appleseed property, Megazone 23, Captain Harlock, the Starship Troopers, Ghost in the Shell, Blade Runner, and others. So some pretty popular names coming to Otakon this year. If you were able to check it out, I recommend you do so, as it is a pretty big and pretty fun anime convention. This was Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break. And now, time to get back to the podcast. Anime Addicts, it's almost summer, and you know what that means. It's time for the Summer Waifu War to begin once again. The podcast will be hosting a cash prize March Madness-style bracket challenge for your enjoyment, but first, we need a bracket. So go to www.waifuwar.life, because waifu are lifu, and nominate up to 10 of your favorite waifu. We know you love your waifus and you don't want them to be left out of the contest. So again, 10 nominations for your favorite waifu. Visit waifuwar.life to nominate. Again, that's waifuwar.life.
Hey, this is Miley Flanagan, the voice of Naruto Uzumaki, and I am an anime addict. Use your Rasengan!
I'm just gonna let it go. It's fucking dope. How can an anime this bad have music this fucking catchy in it? I love the synthesizer. Welcome back to the podcast, guys. In the anime Kawaii Sugi Crisis, how many cats are credited with living in Japan? They say it in episode 1, and Lisa Luna is very surprised that it is 10 million. It's a lot of cats.
A lot of cats.
Mm-hmm. And again, if you guys want to save the waifu war, save the waifu! Save the waifu! Waifuwar.life. We're taking nominations.
Your waifu is going to be so pissed at you if you didn't take this stance.
She's going to be an ex-waifu.
Yeah. Well,
So-
who are you voting for?
What's
Who
that?
should be in the waifu war? Where are your opinions? One waifu should be in the waifu war.
Roxanne from Harem in the Labyrinth. For sure.
Roxanne!
Roxanne, give me your... Never mind. Your big old booty. Roxanne.
Mason.
Speedwagon from JoJo. That's why I gotta
it's
watch
not a
it.
waifu.
Desumi
Debatable.
Matsubara from Love After World Domination.
Desumi's cute.
She's so cool and so beautiful, and I love her.
If you were to put 100 waifus in a jar and pull one out and you got Desumi, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Love After World Domination.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It wouldn't be the end of the world after world. Yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't be the end of the world domination. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have no drop for this segment still because I forgot to make one. But let's see how this goes. Oh, it helps if the soundboard is turned up. Very important.
And now, great moments in Anime Addicts Anonymous history.
Welcome to a day in AA history, where we go back to the past and we look at some of the greatest moments from episodes, hundreds of episodes ago. You've probably forgotten. We have over 600 of them. So while I'm at work and I'm doing some things that I can listen to a podcast with, this is what I do. I listen to prior AAA history videos, or sorry, podcasts. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, I listened to recently episode 357, and this was titled "Reaching in Deep into the Mailbag." So this was, no, that is not what happened. January 24th, 2017. That long ago, 6 years ago.
Fourscore.
Yeah. So this was an episode where you guys were, catching up on the mailbags. We still do this on occasion. Let me just take away the highlighter markings here. There we go. So this little clip is when a mailbag predicted the future. So Kazuo and Mitsugi were reading the mailbags, and this one in particular predicted Mitsugi's future. Roll the clip.
Next mailbag comes from Cloud Chaser.
What's up, ladies? Talking to all of you.
Okay.
Nice.
Hi.
Hold on. Just had a quick laugh picturing Mitsugi and Kazuo in Sailor Moon cosplay. That would never happen.
Well, never say never.
I'm way too jacked for that. I would never fit. Okay, so I had a question, but this
funny.
makes for a better one. Mitsugi and Kazuo. Perfect. So if you had to choose which female Sailor Moon character is you? I'm Sailor Mars.
That's a good
Ding, 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 ding.
That is a really good question.
Sailor Mars.
How are you Sailor Mars?
Because she's the hottest one.
Well,
Correct.
I would say you're more like what's the one with the short hair?
Sailor Mars.
No, it's not Sailor Mars.
That's what I am, though.
The one with the short hair, like the smart one.
Ray Hino.
No, you're not Sailor Mars at all. You know what? Let's let the chat decide.
Too smart.
Anyway,
So right off the bat,
Mercury. Someone's a Mercury.
well, I don't know if they're talking about you. Oh, Mercury's the short-haired one.
I am very uninterested in Mercury. Who are you?
BCom says I'm Sailor Venus.
There you go.
Which one's Sailor Venus?
The blonde one?
I don't know.
One of the blonde ones, I think.
I'm just so overwhelmed with how little you know about the Sailor Scouts. I mean, come on. You don't know which one Sailor Venus is? She's the other blonde one. She's not.
Yeah, she wears
Sailor
like.
Moon, but she-
Yeah.
All I'm hearing in this clip is now Kazuo is contractually obligated to dress up as Sailor
true.
Venus.
I fulfilled my end of the bargain.
Yeah, your end of the bargain of
And-
it's never going to happen with doing it. So now he
You
must
would
be
make
the
a
same.
beautiful Sailor Venus.
I'm sure he would be lovely.
And I'm much larger now than I was in 2017. So
But I was listening to that, and I'm like, oh my goodness. He said he
pretty
would
good.
never do this. So,
love this segment.
Sorry, going off topic, I suppose, but like what made you decide, you know what, we're going to do the Sailor Mars costume, even though you factually said you would never do it?
it's a gag. I'll do anything for a
but
laugh.
like where did you make that decision? Like, where did you decide
it was because
to make it?
It was because Pancake was going to Halloween as Sailor
Oh, right.
as Sailor Mini Moon, and her friend was going to be Sailor Moon, I think, and then her friend backed out, and so Pancake needed someone to cosplay with, and so I said I will be Sailor Mars, and then it began to sound really funny, so I was like, fuck it, yeah, I wore high heels for 4 hours and dance in them. Fuck it.
And you looked great.
I was also hammered. Thank you.
All right, well, let's get to the next clip. So this one is from the episode right after the one we just listened to. This is episode 358 and titled Live Cooking Show, Nabe, where I forget who in particular, but you guys were making, or I guess you guys as a whole, because you guys kind of had a, you were in the same area, so you would do the show together in the same room. You guys were cooking nabe, and so this was from February 2nd, 2017. And the clip here I titled, A Special Guest Appears. So if you guys don't remember, this is the very first episode of Does Mitsugi's Mom Know? And the first player is pretty interesting. So I'll leave it at that. Roll the clip.
It's time for Does Mitsugi's Mom Know? The game show that pits Mitsugi's unassuming mother against anime's most basic questions. Now here are your hosts, the Anime Addicts.
This
So
is
we have a call.
amazing.
We have a caller on the line.
Do we?
I think so. Mason, are you on the line?
I sure am.
Whoa! Oh man!
Yes.
Mason, who will be joining us on our Japan trip in a couple months. So, how are you today, and how does it feel to be on Does Mitsugi's Mom Know?
I have no idea what I'm in for, but I'm game, I guess.
You are so uncertain throughout this.
You have won. Does Mitsugi's Mom Know?
Oh, sorry.
Fantastic!
I had to click it.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
We will be.
Mason
I will
won.
be contacting you off air so that we can reward you handsomely for your effort.
No,
Oh,
I
thank
won.
you. This is the proudest moment of my life.
Put it on your resume.
All right, and thanks for being the first player. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks so much,
See ya.
everyone.
You know, I
All
love
right,
how.
well, I
No
had no
one better
idea
be
that
calling
Mason's
in the
origin-
future with that shitty of a microphone. Let me tell
Yeah,
you that much.
I had no idea that this was Mason's origin story. So when I was listening to this episode, I'm like, oh my gosh, the first episode of Does Mitsugi's Mom Know? Who's the caller? And it's Mason. And
Yeah.
you sound extremely unsure of yourself throughout this entire.
So obviously, this was the first episode of Does Mitsugi's Mom Know, a game show. At which point, I was given no heads up. You know, I had no reference. I was just contacted in Discord. I think in our Japan trip Discord channel, where they're like, "We need someone for a game show, a contestant on our show who can do it in like 20 minutes." That was it. That was all I was given. So I
also
came in
think there
with
has to
no
be some sort of-
expectations.
There had been some sort of lag too, because you took so long to respond to
yeah.
any question. And
I don't
so
remember
it
where
just
it
made
was,
it sound as if you were so uninterested in what was going on. So it's kind of funny to listen to. But I did spoil it because I kind of clipped together the beginning and an end. Mason did indeed win. But you can go back to episode 358. It's at around 12 minutes, 25 seconds that the game starts. So you can listen to the very first questions of Does Mitsugi's Mom... I can't even say it. Does Mitsugi's Mom Know? And get context for how Mason did. Now, this last clip is from the same episode. And I have to say, this one made me laugh so hard when I was listening to it. Because this one is the history of tentacle porn.
Yeah.
That was just randomly brought up by Chiaki.
Yeah. Yeah.
Roll the clip.
That's not as random as you'd think.
Oh my god. Dear members of the AAA podcast, I've watched a lot of anime, and there are some specific scenes that I don't quite get. I'm talking about scenes where some girls are suddenly attacked by giant squids or octopus, and then these critters start using their tentacles to rub, snatch, squeeze tits, and whatnots. What is your take on these types of scenes? Are they
Hell
supposed
yes.
to be arousing or gross you out? What's the deal?
Clearly, you're not watching anime, you're watching hentai.
Yeah, it sounds like hentai.
Just letting
to
you
me.
know, that is an entirely different genre.
Or you're watching Pompoko.
Ugh.
What's wrong with Pompoko?
Oh, wait, no, I was thinking Pico no Chico. That's where my mind went when you said
It's
Pompoko. I
Boku
don't
no
know.
Pico.
No, what, isn't there one called Pico no?
It's Boku no Pico.
I don't know.
My Pico.
Ew.
All right,
Do
I'm
not
going to take...
watch that.
I'm going to take about 45 seconds and give probably the most thoughtful answer I can.
Okay.
Tentacle porn and the influence of tentacles actually dates back to the 1800s in Japan and Japanese culture.
This is a
There
long one,
is
by the
a
way.
art block printing known as The Dream of the Fisherman's Wife, which is from the ukiyo-e period of art. It is done by the Japanese artist Hokusai, which is possibly the most famous woodblock artist and potentially fine artist in all of Japan. He did The Great Wave off Kanagawa, which is the woodblock printing of the giant wave, as well as Fine Wind Clear Morning, which is a woodblock printing of Lake Mount Fuji. The Dream of the Fisherman's Wife is actually the first depiction of tentacle porn and has an octopus that is basically eating out a Japanese woman and with his tentacles all over her. And you can look it up. It's fine art. It's not technically porn. And
it's
so
fine.
after that, we then end up with tentacle porn and things. 1, because there's that. 2, because Japan is an island. And 3, because tentacles actually are not considered to be peni, and therefore don't have to be censored under censorship and pornography laws in the same way. That being said, not my thing.
That being said,
That being said, not my thing.
that being
I want
said,
to hear more about
I didn't include this
Kimiko's.
part. Stop it! I didn't include this part, but Kimiko says it's my thing.
yeah, but it is.
I want to hear more about Kimiko's Boku no Pico de Gallo. That sounds like
Yeah.
a great restaurant.
Yeah, I would go there. Yeah.
Boku no Pico has now come up several times in the show, more times than it probably has in the last 3 years.
I think
That's
it's a sign.
It's time for you to
should
watch
watch
it.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna
No.
do that. We're gonna do it.
No, we have other more domesticated
More
animal
prevalent
related
things on
watches lined up.
So that is your day in AAA history. I actually have quite a few stocked. I have quite a few stocked up, meaning I have one more episode I could do of this. I still have more to listen to, I suppose. So
Nice.
I think it's very
feel
fun.
free if anybody is listening to episodes from the past and they've come across just an interesting bit, maybe something that has aged well, has not aged well, something hilarious. Send it along to me, and it might be a part of this segment. You can reach me at the Discord, so have fun listening.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime.
Mailbag. You guys are embarrassing with your dances. Hey, if you want to leave a mailbag, aaapodcast.com/mailbag. Whoa! Raggedy Doctor has already written like 500 of them. So we're going to do Raggedy Doctor
Do we
today.
have patients to attend to, Doctor?
Yeah. Save your patience. We'll write less mailbags. Why am I waiting so long? I've been here waiting in this I've been waiting in this waiting room for 3 hours.
Hold on! I have to write to an anime podcast.
I gotta write 400th mailbag. Hey, AAA hosts, we have the types of shows. We all have the types of shows that we typically like, and it has. You would think Raggedy Doctor could proofread his mailbags.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, I'm now offended.
There we go.
Hey, triple AAA. That was redundant. We all have the types of shows that we typically like, and it is hard to venture beyond our comfort zones. That being said, what show has made you happy to test the boundaries of your tastes? Much love, and thank you for making my anime addiction just... Please insert dramatic pause for effect here.
I mean,
so much worse.
There's a lot of examples of this because I get forced to watch things I don't want to all the time. Probably, I'll give you one that I actually ended up liking and one that I didn't like. I liked Bofuri. It has plenty of moe in it, but I still enjoyed the fun attitude of it and the cool action scenes because there's plenty of those. I haven't watched the second season of Bofuri. I probably won't at this point, but I enjoyed the first season.
Season 1 is good. Season 2 is kind of just like if you need
love
more
it.
Bofuri. It's basically just the same thing.
Shows I haven't liked, even though I had to watch them anyway. Aquatrope was a great one. You know, that show, it's just like an exercise in being bored. And unfortunately, it's a 2-course show, which made it even harder. Oh, man. You can only watch somebody like clean up penguin shit and mop floors for so long before you just wonder what you're doing with your life. Caroline.
To answer this question, Food Wars. Probably one of the first ecchi series that I found enjoyable.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I don't love some of the parts, but overall, I found it done very humorously and with equal opportunity for, on both genders. So it's just made me feel a little less weird about seeing girls naked when the boys were just as naked. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm not huge into the shoujo genre. It's just a little too following the tropes for me that I don't really get behind. That said, Princess Tutu is pretty fantastic, even though it has ballet, it has magical girl, it has all the things that you would think on paper I can't jive with. and it's a really good drama and pretty cool. I guess I'd also put Review Starlight in there. That was way better than I expected. So there's some good stuff out there in any genre, and thank you for the mailbag, Mr. Dr. Raggedy Sir. We appreciate it.
He's very doctorly. Yes.
He is.
Well, we have a lot of impressions to get to.
We have a lot of them. And so it's time for impressions.
Today, we're going to be doing impressions.
Impression time, believe it.
Okay. We have a lot of impressions to get to here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So, I was very shocked last week that you guys didn't pass a single show. What was that all about?
You know me. I need to take my time with my passes, and I passed one in the first episode, which I was proud of.
She's doing the chest pound. She's pounding her chest.
She's going to pass something next week.
What's your excuse, Mason?
It's going to go smoothly.
My excuse is
you were gone, so you ruined everything.
I needed to know what you were going to pass, Mitz. There was a steal possibly afoot.
Well, it's a good thing I'm back.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Because today we are going to make anime great again. I've seen so many anime, the best, and so many have seen me in anime, or something like that. We are going to make it great again. Thank you. It's a very bad Trump impression, although Donald Trump is a very easy impression to do. Clearly, I haven't practiced it enough. Anyway, nobody laughed at that. I should have practiced that more. Failed bit. Maybe not. I don't know. Who gives a fuck? All right, so I have a lot of impressions to do, so let's get right to it. MASHLE.
So, past so far, we have Heavenly Delusion and The Dangers in My Heart.
Yeah, they know that already because we said it 2 weeks ago. You guys didn't pass anything last week.
Just a reminder.
Mason,
you
like that.
You weren't here.
That's
you don't get to judge.
I'm on board for.
I was here in spirit, okay? I was.
Go on.
MASHLE, Magic and Muscles. It was pretty funny because I was in an Uber on the way back from Iowa. Which, by the way, Ubers are so fucking expensive. I don't know how people can even ride Ubers. It's like ridiculous. If you take like 100 Uber rides, you can just buy a fucking car.
Mitsugi.
Yeah. You know what? Okay. 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 So MASHLE, I was in this Uber and I was like, I don't know how they can even make this anime. It's such a blatant ripoff of Harry Potter. It's unbelievable. I say as I'm watching the third episode where they're literally playing a sport where people ride brooms and hit a ball around. Or whatever. They might not even have had a ball. But it was a sport where they fly around on brooms. And I'm like, this is fucking Quidditch. So, look, if you like Harry Potter and you like anime, this anime is for you. Because it is exactly Harry Potter. Unfucking believable. How many similarities are there in this? It starts off with this kid named Mash who is living with like his grandfather in the forest somewhere, and they're out and kind of in hiding because apparently Mash has no magic potential, and I don't know, they want to kill him or something. So he's a threat to the gene pool or something, to that extent. To that, it's I suppose, what is it, a eugenics society or something where they'll just kill you if you don't like if you can't use magic because they hate you or something. Which I kind of recall in Harry Potter. There was something about Harry Potter. They were like trying to hide him or something too. So I don't know. It's kind of maybe I'm misremembering. But he gets into like a scuffle with some guards from the city. And then it's determined that he has to like enroll in this magic academy to maintain the peaceful life that he had, because he kind of gets blackmailed by the city guards or whatever into doing that. So basically, and he's really strong, but he is the dumbest character I think has ever existed in the history of anime. I mean, some shockingly dumb shit happens in this anime that goes well beyond like even the girls from K-On! Like Yui from K-On!, the main girl, she is very dumb. I mean, her IQ is probably like 60. MASH, his IQ is probably like 40. I mean, it is. He literally breaks a door down accidentally because he's so strong, even though he has like no muscles. He looks half my size, and he breaks this door down, and then you know how doors are like they attach to hinges in a rectangular shape where the longer part of the door goes up and down, right? Because human beings walk, we're tall. He's literally trying to fix the door, and he's like ramming the door into the door frame sideways. Like he can't figure out how the fuck the door should fit in the door frame. So then, of course, he breaks it in half. And I'm like, you are straight up a total dipshit. Anyway, so he goes and he enrolls in this magic school, which is Hogwarts. And, there are scenes of classroom exercises. Like there's one where they have to like use magic to make a lock come undone, like a padlock. And he just like grabs it and breaks it off. And they're like, that's cheating, like blah, blah. It's like, this is Hogwarts, complete with a main wizard character who looks exactly like Dumbledore. Quidditch, a castle-type school, magic events, magic classes that could easily be lifted straight out of Harry Potter. And the only thing about this anime that isn't Harry Potter is MASH himself. There are some good scenes in this anime where, for example, where like a kid's getting bullied and he just like stands up for the kid and he beats the bully's head into the ground, and then this teacher shows up who's corrupt and he like buries the teacher up to he like digs a giant hole and buries the teacher up to his neck, and it's just like some silly stuff. This anime is not too bad. It's pretty good. I actually like kind of enjoy it. I mean, I'm interested to see where it's gonna go. I think it's listed as 12 episodes. This is not gonna end up being 12 episodes. This is a show that's gonna get like 3 seasons. But I'm gonna pass this. I think that it's actually pretty fun. It's not. It's like you're shown an anime of the season probably. And we're making anime great again. So thank God Mitsuki's back. Now we can pass things. Oh, Caroline's so like. You hate me, don't you? Do you hate me?
We're not here. You can't complain. So we do have a really good alternative name for MASHLE in the chat. Harry Spotter.
Harry Spotter? Splatter?
Harry Spotter. And anything
spotting when you're
gym related
lifting weights.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on.
And the betting degeneracy channel on the Discord explodes.
I mean, I have a lot of shitty anime.
All right, want to get to the next one then?
Yeah. Caroline's ready to get the hell out of here.
I'm hungry actually.
So I have another anime that I can barely remember called. Oh my god, the title is so long.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Isekai de cheat skill o teini shita ore wa genjitsu sekai o mo mosu suru level up wa jinsei o kaita. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unraveled in the real world too. These fucking titles are horrible. Light novel, obviously, because only light novels have ridiculous titles like that. So it's an isekai show about a kid. This is actually not bad. This show is not terrible by any stretch, but it's also very run-of-the-mill. The only thing about this anime that's unique is that it has a pretty direct take on bullying. There's this kid named Yuya Tenjo who just gets bullied. Like, his fucking ass gets bullied off big time. And it's sad. Like, there's some scenes that are just sad. Like, like the kinds of scenes where, a bully would, like, throw someone's puppy into the river. Or, like, push their face into the dirt and break all their, school supplies. It's, like, brutal stuff like that. His grandfather also dies in the beginning of the show, and he was pretty much the only person who gave a damn about Yuya. And so now that he's gone, the kid is like really like all by himself, and there is one scene in the show early on where he does rescue this girl who's gorgeous. Her name is Kaori Hojo, and she is the chairman of the academy academy that's like some famous academy, and he's like he starts off as like this overweight, like otaku guy, like exactly what you would expect. He looks like Cartman from the Warcraft episode after he's been like playing Warcraft for like 5 straight months. And he like sticks his neck out to try to save this girl, and I can't remember if he gets his ass beaten or not. I think he does. I think he gets punched in the face at least, and then the police come and they help. But like he stands up for this girl, and doing so is a good showing of his character as a person. And he just couldn't handle seeing someone else getting bullied the way that he did, I think. And so he does get invited to that school where the girl's attending because she tells her father or whatever, and the father's like, wow, this kid, a person with such great character belongs in our school, even though it's a very prestigious school. But the important thing is that he finds a door to another world in his house. I don't know how it got there, but the door takes him to a place that is another house in an isekai world that belonged to like a magician, and he instantly gains access to a lot of fancy weapons and equipment and foods and crops that have like effects when you eat them. And he immediately starts like grinding levels and starts training. And then when he goes back into the human world, his body like totally transforms to more or less fit the level and the skills and the stats that he would have had in the isekai world. So he becomes like this insanely hot, like chiseled 6-pack sex hunk. And
you have my attention.
And it very well could be a fine show. I don't know, but it is also not all that out of the box as far as like your run-of-the-mill shonen isekai, and it does have your favorite dark-haired protagonist, and a lot of these isekai shows seem to start promising. Like this one has a couple things about it that are interesting, and then in the end they just devolve into nonsense. So I'm gonna fail this show, but I really don't think it was bad. Like it was fine. It was in like my maybe bucket until this morning when I had to make a decision. But really, it's not bad. It wouldn't kill me to watch it. It is a pretty highly watched show of the season. So it may get picked. I really don't know. I don't really care. It's up to you. It's up to you guys. But probably not gonna pass here. I gotta find a drop that we haven't already used today.
That is one big pile of shit.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. He's pretty dope. Yeah, so that's... I'm not going to say the title again. That's Isekai Cheat in Another World, whatever. Man, that title's long. That might be the longest one I've seen. Jesus. It's like in Japanese, it's like 30 words. All right, what's next?
Okay, so next up on my list is the reason why Raeliana ended up at the Duke's Mansion. So another very long
I know why
title.
she did.
Actually, no, that's not the reason. So, so this is about a girl. Originally, because this is Korean. Is that manhwa? Is that what?
Yes.
It's a webtoon. It's a webtoon,
Yep,
but it's
that's-
manhwa.
Yep, manhwa.
Okay. So originally she is in Korea, obviously, but for whatever reason they decided, you know what? Even though this anime takes only 2 seconds in Japan or in Korea, we're gonna change the location to be Japan. We're gonna change her name and everything. So her original name, I think it's like Ewan Park or something. It's been a while since I.
A Korean person whose name ends in Park?
Yes, that's the last.
I have never heard of such a thing.
When we talked about our picks, that's the exact same thing that you said. Okay, so her name has been changed to Rinko Hanasaki. She dies in modern day Japan. She wakes up in the body of Raeliana Macmillan. She is a noble lady in this book that she was reading. Though she's like a nouveau riche, so she's a noble person, but they kind of have some biases against her. So the thing is that in the book, the death of Raeliana kind of starts the series of events in the story. So she realizes, like, oh shit, I'm Raeliana. I'm about to die by the hands of my fiance. He's going to put arsenic in my tea because I think he's trying to get hold of power within her family's business and all their money and stuff. So if he kills her, then he will inherit, the business and all that. So she realizes this and she tries her best to like, okay, I'm going to have to end this engagement with my fiance. But the thing is that because of the way things are in this society, she can't end the engagement without his consent or without having like another option, like a higher born man. Like if a higher born man were to ask for her hand, that would be a lot more appropriate than just her ending it with no reason. And so she tries to get him to end it with her through multiple means. She actually buys books. Like in this really, it's not a medieval world, but in this world where there's dukes and duchesses and noble people and all that, she buys like 50 ways to get your boyfriend to break up with you book at the store or something like that. I'm like, that's a little weird. So she goes off this book. She tries everything in her power to do it. She even almost kills him because she's like, little does he know is that when they're going out on a hunting trip or something, little does he know that Raeliana's father brought her hunting with him all the time, and she saw him shoot a gun. And just because she saw him shoot a gun, apparently that makes her a sharpshooter because she was able to just barely miss his head as a threat. But that didn't work. So eventually she comes across the Duke of this kingdom. I believe his first name's Noah, and then his last name is Windknight. Very interesting name. So Duke Windknight. So he is in the book, eventually gets together with the heroine that hasn't come into play yet. And Raeliana knows that the Duke actually stole an important document or something and hid it somewhere. So she uses that as blackmail to say, hey, I know what you did with this thing. So if you pretend to be my fiance for 6 months, I won't tell a soul. And there's more negotiations between that. But eventually he does agree to be her fiance to get her out of the marriage. And so the thing is that Noah is extremely shady. He is not a very superficially good person. Like, he puts off the show that he is like a very nice person, but on the inside he's like very conniving and you know, has made several threats himself to Raeliana and her to him as well. So they have this really weird relationship, but I can see some twinges of like the blushes and all that. And this is my jam. This is the kind it's this kind of show where it's like, is it good or is it just my preferences? And I'm pretty sure it's just my preferences. Nobody else is really talking about this show. It is kind of the same along the lines of the villainess shows that I like, even though that she's not a villainess. Honestly, story-wise, this is one of my favorites of the several that are similar. I think it actually has somewhat of an interesting story. I think I will continue with it, but I don't think I can put it up for review. I just don't think many people are interested for it. And yeah, I think I'm better off passing something else. So, fail.
Shall not pass. That's right. Okay. Next up is Kawaisugi Crisis, which is translated directly as Too Cute Crisis. I am, man, this show was interesting. I started watching it last night, and it's sort of funny. I mean, it's basically about an alien race that just goes around destroying other planets. I guess it's kind of like, what the fuck is that anime with Lum? I fucking A.
Urusei Yatsura.
Yeah, it's probably I haven't seen Urusei Yatsura, but it's probably not that different. So, you know, they just travel around, destroy planets, whatever. So they send this girl, Lisa Luna, down to Earth to, I don't know, investigate, I guess. That's about as far as their explanation gets. And in the course of such investigation, Lisa Luna finds a cat cafe. And in the cat cafe, obviously, there are cats. And the cat cafe is just... Essentially, the cats are so cute that she can't even control her feelings about them. Like, she's going to explode You know how when you see something really cute, sometimes you just want to like scream or like rip it into little pieces.
Aggression.
Yeah, it's very odd, but that is very similar here. It's like she, the smoke comes out of her head and she just like, mentally explodes from how cute these cats are, and more or less starts to fall behind on her schedule of destroying the Earth because she's spending way too much time being engrossed with these cats. Meanwhile,
what's her means of destroying? Because it seems like she has a list of things to do. Like, does she have to like plant a bomb somewhere? Does she like? Use
I don't know. The anime doesn't.
They don't even talk about how she's supposed to destroy an entire planet by herself.
Nah.
Does she have any weapon?
Nope.
What?
Mm-mm.
This is. I feel like they're skipping quite a few.
She has like a communicating thing where she can like talk to the mothership, but I just assumed the mothership was gonna like fire a laser at the planet or something and destroy it.
What's she there for?
So she's there to look at cats, and so she looks at the cats, and they're so cute, and then she sees a Shiba Inu outside, and that is so cute, and she's just like, apparently they've never run into a planet with this cute of animals, and the progression of the 3 episodes of the show is essentially every gag imaginable involving cats, complete with like cats are the real bosses of the household, or like humans are just cats as slaves. Like we've all heard this, like these jokes where it's like, oh, the cat is like, you're going to worship your cat, and the cat is really, the one in charge, and all this is like all that. So the mothership thinks that there's like a race of god animals on Earth that like are controlling humans. And then, everything from how cute the cat is when it's asleep to the cat putting its paw on Lisa Luna to keep her from moving around while he's eating, to more dogs, to them visiting another household that has a pet hamster.
Are the animals actually cute, though?
They're pretty cute. I mean, there's even some like word pun gags where she's talking to the mothership and the cat is like jumping on her head, and so she's like freaking out, and the mothership's like, the fuck is going on? And she says nan demo nai, which means like nothing, like essentially. Except she says, wait for it, nyan demo nai. Get it?
I knew it.
Nyan demo nai. So they even throw some word puns in there like that. And then in the 3rd episode, they send 2 more people down from the mothership because the mothership is like, well, you're clearly behind schedule and don't seem to have control of the situation, so we're going to send 2 more people down. And the immediate thing that happens is that one of the 2 people is allergic to cats, so they just start like coming apart, more or less, due to the allergies. And that's kind of funny because they take it as like the cat has subdued this other person, because the people on the mothership still don't even know like what they're dealing with. And
this kind of reminds me of Hinamatsuri a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
that aspect.
The anime is fine. I mean, it's fun. And the problem with it is that it has almost no narrative. And I personally just don't know how long, if they're going to be able to keep this up for 12 episodes in a way that's interesting. I just don't know. I mean, I figure they're going to introduce every cute animal that's ever existed on Earth, like pandas. It's going to have red pandas in there. We're going to have like people are going to have parrots and all this. They're going to have everything. They're going to have every fucking pet. Ferrets haven't showed up yet. I'm sure they will. Apparently ferrets are like really common, and all I hear about ferrets is that they smell bad and have terrible health problems, but they're just going to keep like going into these different animals. And I was really torn on this anime because I actually don't dislike it at all. I think it's actually pretty okay. And it's a lot of fun and it's cute, but it just has very little substance. And honestly, there's really no reason to pass it. I don't really know what the fuck we would do for 12 episodes watching this. So I'm just going to fail it.
It is a travesty.
But it really isn't bad. Honestly, like if this gets picked for listener choice, I will not be upset at all. But it's like I don't know why. It's like I figure once you've seen one episode of this, you've seen the whole thing. So.
All right. Well, I'll head into my final impression here. My love story with Yamada-kun at level 999. So, this is a gamer story. It follows the main character, Akane. She is a high school student and her boyfriend was really into gaming, so she kind of got into it with him playing this one particular MMO. So she kind of got into it along with him, but it's still kind of his thing. Then she finds out that he got together with one of the members of their guild. And so they meet in the game, and then they started going out in real life. So I don't know if that's technically cheating, because like he never actually, from my understanding, he did not actually go out with her while he was still in the relationship, but he did start talking to her while they were in the relationship, and he ended his relationship with Akane to go out with this girl. So technically not cheating, but also she is so upset. Like, she's heartbroken, like depressed. She is thinking of all the ways that she can get back at him. So she realizes, oh, there's a meetup event coming up, and I am gonna look drop dead gorgeous because I know he's gonna be there with his girlfriend. So I actually don't know if she knew the girlfriend was gonna be there, but she goes and she sees him. She embarrasses herself because she realizes his new girlfriend is also pretty hot. In world, to us, she does not look that hot. Like, her lips are really weird. And
too much
so
Juvederm.
She trips. She embarrasses herself. She gets all messy, but lo and behold, this really cute guy helps her up. And she says, "Wait a minute, you're gonna pretend to be my boyfriend." So she's like introducing her to this guy as her hot new boyfriend to her ex-boyfriend, just to make him feel jealous.
Classic power
play. Did not really work. So she is still upset. She gets super drunk with Yamada-kun, that she finds out this really hot guy is named Yamada-kun. He's actually in her guild, and he's kind of an ass. Like, just does not really, very cold, does not really interact much, in pretty apathetic to everything. But he's hot. So they go out. He is kind of dragged there by her. She's just like unraveling all of this shit that she's going through. And by the end of it, she passes out drunk. He takes her home. So you get that really awkward moment when she is in bed and he's playing his games because he's a pro gamer. And, you know, that's what he's doing. And they did not have sex. No, because he's very awkward around girls. He's hot, but he does not know how to interact with them, and he doesn't really care much for them. But yeah, she barfs all over her clothes. And eventually she goes home. She kind of has a love-hate relationship with Yamada because, you know, he frustrates her, but sometimes he will help her out. And eventually, they kind of form a decent friendship with each other because Yamada-kun is actually a high school student. It's a little weird, not gonna lie. You got, like, I don't know, how old do you have to be to drink in Japan?
20.
Okay, so you have at least a 20-year-old girl,
I think.
and he's like a senior. And, like, okay, the age difference gap is not that large, but I don't know, a college girl going out with a high school boy, it's still kind of strange. And I really wish that Yamada was actually in college because I really would like an actual young adult anime, and that's what I thought it was at first, but since he's in high school, it's kind of skewing that a little bit. So they kind of grow closer, they form a friendship, and she meets up with other guild members. Like, there's this one character, the Genki girl character in the game that she meets up with and she's friends with. So she meets up with this person in real life. I'm not going to spoil anything about that. Also, there's this little child, this, like, junior high school girl, and she's a massive bitch because she's like, you're not going to impose on my friend group, which is Yamada, the guild master, and another character. And so she is so terrible to Akane. She even sets her up to, like, meet, like, she's like, we're going to hang out. So they go in, and so she goes to the meeting point, and it's actually some random player that she invited to go in her place, and he's a real creep.
It's like a trash anime.
Yeah, it's gross, and it's just like, ugh. Yeah, that's really dangerous. And so they're pissed at her, because they're like, why would you do that? Meanwhile, Akane is like, I'm still going to be your friend. Like, I don't care. Like, she's a very, you know, loving person, so she just wants to be friends with everyone. eventually, this girl, this little child that's a bitch, in this most recent episode, she's
Tell 'em how
actually
you
pretty
feel.
great. Yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry. I know I'm rambling.
She's a fucking bitch.
I've watched like 5 or 6 episodes of this, so I have a lot to talk about. So the little girl, junior high school girl, who at first you hated, but now you kind of love her because she's pretty funny, and also, surprisingly, is trying to get Akane with Yamada. So she's thinking of all the ways, all the stereotypical ways that could possibly happen. So, like the accidental boob grab. So she pushes Akane onto Yamada. But it doesn't work, and she tried a couple other things. Honestly, the show has pretty great comedy editing, like the facial expressions and like other visual humor. And yeah, it's pretty decent. It has a lot of fun stuff for people who enjoy gaming, and it's not like MMO, insert your person into the show. It's, they display it pretty much as a game, which is nice. So overall, it's pretty fun. I don't know how I feel about Yamada yet. I wish he had more of an exciting character because otherwise he's just kind of bland. I'm hoping for a little bit more from him. But overall, I think it's pretty good. Honestly, Mitsuki, I think you'll like this one. And I'm going to pass it.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Now, I do want to reflect on the fact that last week I kind of said in our after party that I would try out Skip and Loafer and maybe steal it. The thing is that I did not have time to look at Skip and Loafer this week. So, very sorry. That is.
You were loafing too much for Skip and
I
Loafer.
was loafing and watching My Hero
skipped out.
Academia, apparently.
She skipped out on it. It was
Sorry,
because she
guys.
was loafing.
So I failed on you with that one, but I never promised anything, so.
Nothing counts in after parties. That's a lawless wasteland.
By the way, I don't think there's anything wrong with a 20-year-old dating a 17-year-old.
Maybe it's because, okay, so it could also be the fact that she's a girl older than him, which I know is stupid and makes no difference.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that either.
I don't know. There's just something about it that makes it like it doesn't happen as often.
There are laws in most states that make that legal, but I would say that if you're 17, once the other person is older than 24, I would say it starts to be a little odd. But the older you get, the less that matters. So by the time the younger person's 24, it doesn't matter how old the other person is.
But then there's also that thing where like girls kind of mature faster than boys.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's why I also.
I mean, Pancake's 11 years younger than me, so. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I'll be young forever because of Pancake.
You're already kind of ancient.
Damn. Ow. Zing ya.
Just kidding.
No, it's fine. Who's next? Is it me again?
It's you.
Okay. Mahou Shoujo, Magical Destroyers. This is a very confusing anime. I thought for sure this was a Studio Trigger anime after about one episode because it just looks so much like Studio Trigger. But it is not. It is Studio Beebury Animation, which has done... They did a Black Rock Shooter, Azure Lane, Quintessential Quintuplets. So they have some stuff here people recognize. Mostly just Quintessential Quintuplets, though, probably. This is a very strange anime. In 2008, I guess, the Japanese government begins to hunt down people that are considered otaku to protect the country's culture. So this government agency known as SSC captures almost every otaku that is in Akihabara and takes all the memorabilia and everything. But there is a hero named Otaku Hero who is just like this nerd guy with like he may as well be wearing underpants on his head. Honestly, he doesn't, but it wouldn't be off brand if he did. With like big swirly glasses and just goofy. I guess like rises up and takes the place as the like leader of this resistance group, this resistance army that is there to help defend the culture of otakus. And then along the way, he gets 3 magical girl allies whose names are Anarchy, Blue, and Pink. And they're literally blue, pink, and red. And the one who's pink is wearing like a gas mask, so she only says like
Gobo.
I wanted to say I wanted to say Gabu, but I couldn't remember. Gobo, which I don't know what the fuck that means. And it's just chaos. Like, I don't know. I mean, it was between this and the cat show, honestly. And then I did a poll that you got almost no responses, but every single person.
Oh yeah, I saw that poll, and I'm like, are you serious? He is outsourcing his choices.
Everybody in the poll voted for this one, so clearly the cat one didn't win. And this show just it's bizarre in spots. I mean, like, for example, the opening video starts off with a scene of all these girls and then the otaku guy in this car, and there's like some pretty well animated moments in that scene where the girl's like, she punches her thumb like through a fruit, then she's like licking the juice off her hand, and it's just like it flows and moves very well. And then like at the end of the OP, the theme song just turns into like 40 seconds of static, which is just bizarre, and then like plays the same like 2-second sound clip over and over again, which I can only describe as intentionally abstract, like they're just being out of the box, which is fine.
It's hard style is what they play. And
I mean, it's, in my opinion, not really for me, but I thought for sure if something was broken the first time I heard it. I was like, this sounds like when your CD in high school wouldn't play anymore. In like your Walkman. So, and like they just have battles. I mean, like in the last episode, they were shedding tears over car otaku, and it's like this giant robot from the SSC that like shot fire out of its ass, like it flew around with. It is campy and silly. Like the three magical girls tie up the otaku hero guy, and they're like playing with his feet and shit. And meanwhile, this giant robot from the SSC just like comes out of nowhere with like his jetpack fire coming out of his butt, and he just like comes up to the building that they're inside. He's looking in the window, and the one magical girl, I think the blue one, is like getting off on something because she's like a darkness type, and then they have like a semi-interesting battle scene with the giant robot. And it just moves and flows like a Trigger anime. Honestly, like I thought for sure. I should have known it wasn't, though. There were no like giant pluses anywhere. I'm not a big Trigger fan. But this anime is fine. It just, I don't know. It's very kinetic. It has a lot of spirit. Is it a masterpiece? No, not at all. But I'm gonna pass it. Mostly because there was just nothing better. I mean, on my list, really. I mean, this anime, I'd say it's pretty run-of-the-mill, but it's an average anime to me with above-average style. And if you like Studio Trigger, you'll probably like this because, like I said, it pretty much is a Studio Trigger anime. So we're going to keep it, and I got to find another fucking pass drop. Do I even have any more?
Yes. Now this is going to be a good story.
Lady Emery says, this is totally a myths show. I disagree. This anime is a little too close to Battle Blockade, whatever the fuck.
Blood Blockade.
I think she's indicating Hell's Paradise, maybe.
Oh, maybe. Well, I didn't watch Hell's Paradise, and I'm 99.999% sure it'll get listener picked. So
People keep on telling us to steal Skip and Loafer, and it's just like, well, you'll have to go to bat for it. Put it in the listener choice.
Why don't you take responsibility for yourself and quit putting on us, punks?
Yeah. Stop acting as if we have all the cards here.
Stuff that in your ass.
You have responsibility too.
Yeah. What Caroline said. And you don't want to make Caroline mad. She'll fuck you up.
No, indeed. I will. I will. I have a USB keyboard friggin' here.
Yeah. She'll threaten to kill you like she threatened to kill me last episode. She's like, I guess my keyboard worked. Anyway. Who's up? Mason?
Yeah, it's time to talk Oshi no Ko.
About the best anime of the year, apparently.
Best anime of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah, this is a show by Doga Kobo. Done a bunch of great shows. How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, Asteroid in Love, stuff like that. It's based on the manga. And you can watch it on High Dive. And it is a show about idols in the industry and the dark and painful and violent aspects that's sometimes concealed from the light. And there is a lot to say about this show. This show is, as you might have heard, extremely popular, and it will be talked about throughout the rest of the entire year on message boards, on websites, on Discord. So I recommend giving it a watch sooner rather than later, because this show absolutely relies on its twists. And once you know what those twists are, if they get spoiled for you, the show kind of loses a bit of its power. It's like a magic trick where it needs that twist to stand on and really shock you. So the biggest downfall of this show, if you go into it, is the hype. It is incredibly overrated. If you come in expecting the best show you've ever seen, you're probably going to be a little disappointed.
There's already there.
Really shoddy dialogue from dictionary exposition to just really overly convenient remarks of things that are about to happen, and you're just like, why did that happen? It is visually inconsistent. Yes, there are some great animation shots, and for every meticulous eye sparkle that really wows you, you're going to cost you a scene of jank later on. So it's just not well animated across the board. The writing I found particularly lackluster. There's very questionable plot holes. The guy's looking for a cigarette from a specific guy. There's a whole stand full of cigarette butts, and he picks one. How do you know you got the right one? How is this TV drama highly renowned when it universally sucks? Not saying Oshinoko, like within the show. There's a show that's everyone's like, oh, it's amazing, and everyone hates it. I don't get it. It's simply not as amazingly good as folks are making it out to be. So go in with tempered expectations. But all that said, this show is entertaining. It has a very unique dichotomy between two leads, one that's kind of pro-idol industry and one that's anti-industry. It's a very different take on the idol show. It's not run-of-the-mill, and that's fresh and engaging. It doesn't have a lot of time. It's whipping through its story, but it does, take you into kind of behind the mind of an actor, how this scene works well or doesn't, and that's engaging. And the way it touches on the frustration of creators who are working on something that is less than stellar, and they know it, but they're still putting in the effort, putting in the time, is engaging, especially kind of meta in the sense of people are working on this show and knowing that it's good, but I'm sure everyone here has worked on something that they just know is fundamentally not great, but it's their job. They still got to show up and do it, and that's kind of the underbelly that the show kind of gets to. So there's a lot of care and thought and time put into Oshinoko, and every moment, that fails for me has, on the other side of a coin, a moment that works really well, and I can appreciate. So overall, the show is exceptionally fine, that people just need to cool their jets on a bit, because I don't think it's going to keep up this all-star trajectory for long.
It's not a 9.4?
It's not a 9.4
For
show.
For fuck's sake, give me a break.
But it's engaging and interesting. I think, personally, it's going to kind of have a raced trajectory where it starts off really strong, and it kind of just falters out or flatlines, and you're just like, it was a great beginning, but it kind of just, the ending was whatever. So
Is this based on a manga or original?
It's based on a manga. It's done by the same creator, Aka Akasaka, who did Kaguya-sama, who's just doing writing now. Manga, I would say, is comparable to the anime. The anime is a great adaptation. If you love the manga, the adaptation definitely solids it. I think some things it does better, some things it does worse. It's a close enough adaptation, though, where I'd probably just recommend the anime, unless you're like, I gotta see what happens next. That's it. I'm going to pass the show because you'd have to be insane not to. There's a lot to talk about. It is a worthy review, and it's just part of the, no one isn't talking about the show, and to skip it would be blasphemy. So Oshinoko will be getting a pass, despite my reservations about some of the hype it's getting.
Well, there it is.
I have no clue on anything about Oshinoko, so I hope I keep to that until we watch it, so I don't get spoiled.
What are the chances this got to a 9.4 simply by the Kaguya fucking Sama fans going, oh, we can't have a single anime by what's his fuck not getting a 10 ever again?
No, I think it's...
There's something going on.
Super beloved manga. It's very hype, and people came in ready to bat for it, and it's very easy to be very defensive on a show when you're very hyped and the studio says, okay, boom, here's the 90-minute episode 1. And they, in turn, give you a reason to feel hyped about it. Like, that's how you start off a series that people are excited for. You deliver with a fantastic episode 1. That's why you get hype.
That being said, I have not, seen a second of Oshi no Ko, but I do have the OP and I think the ED on my playlist right now, and it's so good. Such a bop.
And in case you're wondering, there's a ton of hentai of the main character already online.
Thank you, Mitsuki, for that hentai report.
A ton of it. Holy crap.
I keep my mouth shut, but yes.
5 million hits?
You don't like... So, back to your reaction
Jesus
on the OP-ED. Do you not like the songs?
They're fine.
I just
They're
think
fine.
they're bops.
Holy just... Oh my god.
Mitsuki,
The world is
turn
as
off
dark...
your hentai search engine.
You know what? You want to know what's even worse than the fact that this anime has 9 million hentai photos online of it already, and it's only been out for like 2 minutes?
I see your credit card in the screen and that you're going to buy it.
See this credit card? This is potentially the last credit card that I possess for which I can actually create a 7-day trial on High Dive only to cancel it 4 days later, because I have now done this probably 8 times. Thankfully, we have podcast credit cards and a bunch of other stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't have enough. But
you know,
this is it.
Why
This
don't
is
we,
my
like,
last hope. Yeah.
I was wondering about this.
Yep.
Why don't we have just like buy one subscription for the podcast and we all share it? So we can just get the subscriptions without having to spend 3 different ways.
I don't know. No one's ever brought that suggestion up before.
Okay, well.
So that leaves us with the past shows being Heavenly Delusion, The Dangers of My Heart.
We have one more review to do.
Oh, no,
Oh my
no
God,
one
we
cares.
do.
Sorry, do it.
I'll be quick.
Oh,
This anime was
but also
annoying.
people were like, "There's like, what is Mason gonna pass? Is it gonna be Oshi no Ko?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know." Meanwhile, that's the only thing that you had left to review. So
Yeah, it was the only one. I know there's maybe in no, we got to pass Oshi no Ko. So do the last review and then we'll wrap up and give our final thoughts and try to convince people on what to vote for listeners' choice. So go ahead, Mitz.
I feel this anime just off its title. Dead Mount Death Play, done by, I guess, famed manga creator Ryogo Narita with the strangest Japanese first name I've ever seen, who has done Durarara and Bacano, and that's about it. And then this, of course. This, I'll be quick because this is not going to pass. This is basically an anime about... It's almost an isekai also. I mean, honestly. The guy is in an isekai world, and he gets murked by a hero character. He's a necromancer, like skeleton undead lord or some shit. And there's a big battle in the first episode, and I think people liked the first episode because essentially it was just a big fight scene in the first episode, which people are all in for. And the necromancer guy gets defeated, and he gets reincarnated into Earth. So it's essentially an isekai, reverse isekai, into the body of a character that had just been assassinated. A young boy whose name is... Well, they just call him Corpse God on this website. I can't really remember what the fuck his name was. Doesn't matter all that much. And he gets assassinated by this psycho girl named Misaki, who is just like an assassin who's also a high school girl who is utterly insane. Like, she just wants to kill people. And he ends up killing her because he's from another world and has lots of powers. And once he realizes he can use his powers, then, he just wipes her out pretty quick. But they revive her. Oh, his name's Polka. That's right, Polka Shinomiya. And I don't know, this anime is just weird. I don't know, it's just not particularly for me. And there's an awful lot of focus on the Misaki girl in the first couple episodes. And I know she's one of the main characters, but she's also hideously annoying and batshit fucking insane. And this one just didn't really click with me. There's a lot of time spent on like the backstory of the necromancer guy, as if we really care. And then he like rescues some kids from a burning building in the third episode, which seemed utterly unrelated, other than to say that he learns how to use his powers because he just sends like a bunch of skeletons into the building to like save the kids. And then it's like on the news, there's pictures of like skeletons in the windows, like rescuing the kids. And then everybody's like, I guess no one thought that was weird. I don't know. It's done by Studio Geek Toys. I don't know. It's fine. It felt like something else I have seen, but I couldn't put my finger on it exactly. But I'm not entirely sure what that anime is that I'm thinking of. So But this one's not.
Part-timer?
It's definitely better than that. I'm gonna fail this. But it's just, I don't know. It's not that good.
It is a travesty.
I don't know. It's just an isekai show basically with assassins. So I don't know. It feels like, I don't know, every other anime with a psycho, crazily laughing, dance in your blood, unusually agile and strong high school girl with glasses who, I don't know, is in and of herself essentially an anime cliche. So
just yandere, essentially.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. So that's about it. Now we have passed Heavenly Delusions, Dangers in My Heart, MASHLE, Yamada-kun at level 999, Magical Destroyers, and the new best anime of all time, Oshi no Ko.
So now we open it up to you, the listeners, to pick
right.
the last 3 shows we will be reviewing.
Mm-hmm.
Caroline, Mitz, what are the shows you want to push on them? What are the ones that you're like, hey, check this out, vote for this one. I was on the fence, blah, 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 blah. Is it a Otaku Elf? Is it Yuri Is My Job? Is it, what is it? What's lingering?
Well,
I'm partial to Raeliana. I don't know if it's good or not, but shit, it's my jam, man.
It's not good, but damn, do I like the sound of it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched too many anime this season other than the ones that I had to, do. But I wouldn't mind watching the cat anime. I wouldn't mind watching the isekai show that I failed, the cheating in another world or whatever.
And
so
Skip and Loafer.
I don't know anything about. Yeah, I don't know anything about Skip and Loafer.
I mean, again, I also don't. I haven't watched it, but
and I know nothing about Hell's Paradise. I just know Hell's Paradise is going to get picked for sure.
Yes, Hell's Paradise definitely will, and I think maybe it should if the talk about it improving after episode 3 is true. Hey, that'll be good. Skip and Loafer, just to make Mitsuki suffer, would be a bunch of fun. And it's just a way better show than it has any right to be. So
is it
there's
short?
A lot of good stuff this season. A lot of good stuff.
Got another PA Works school drama. How people are just never going to get sick of watching the same shit happen in a school. And the schools look the same. They are standardized.
Says the guy who has watched Dragon Ball Z. It's the same thing.
I mean, you better be
over and over and over and over and over again.
You better be happy Dragon Ball Z exists, because without it, you may not even have anime in the United States.
I'm not saying that, like, okay, fine, it exists. It's great. Woo. It's great that it exists. But you can't be too complainy about things happening
Caroline,
over and over again at a school when you
time,
watch 7,000 episodes of
number
Goku going.
Is bigger than the last Super Saiyan number. We're just giving Dragon Ball fans a hard time. I'm sorry. Watch Skip and Loafer and vote for whatever you want. It'll be good. Just don't vote for... what do you not want people to vote for?
Okay, let's not do that, because then they'll remember all of the troll picks that can
Guys,
pick this season.
Let's not forget the things you need to remember. Waifu War... by the way, the listener choice will be... Here are all your links. The listener choice will be available at voteanime.life. By the time you hear this on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen, that will be open. Voteanime.life. Listener choice will be open. Then, if you want to support the podcast, you can go to aapodcast.com/join or Patreon. Help us out. You're going to get all of our extra content. Mason and I are going to do a hentai episode right after this. And we'll probably do a hentai episode next week, too, because Pancake will be back, and I'm going to force her to finish watching Sailor on the Seven Balls, speaking of Dragon Ball, so you can watch Piccolo have sex. And... his penis is green. Spoiler alert. And also, if you want to... Oh, Caroline liked that one.
Like, I think it would be even weirder if it wasn't.
Caroline draws the line at big titties.
Like a gradient from green to flesh-colored.
Lactating breasts, I'm out. But Caroline, green penis, we're in. Anyway, just kidding. If you want to vote for the waifu war, if you want to save the waifus, waifuwar.life. I will pull
yourself. Your wife is going to kick your ass if you don't.
I will pull the plug on this. I will, because it is a lot of work. And if you don't,
by May 14th,
if you don't want to do it, we won't do it.
Vote in by May 14th.
If you don't want to do it, we won't do it. But I think it'd be fun. That's about it, guys. That's all that needs to be said. We're going long. I love you. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Time for hentai. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.